Alright, we're about to start making our salve, but first I had to show you my new little toy. I bought myself one of those little thermal label printers because as I make more and more like little herbal tinctures, I thought it would be so fun to just have a quick little label printer. So I've already made our labels for this project. Let me show you. So they say skin repair, and I typed my ingredients and I've printed these out. And we have our little tins here that our salve is going to go into. So the salve we're going to make today is good for skin or lips. So you could definitely pour this into little tubes to make chapstick, or you can do it in a little tin like this. I like to put them in tins like this usually, just to make like a hand salve. Like you just get a little out and rub it on your hands, but you could also rub it on your lips, kind of double purpose. So I've got 20 of these, and that's what we're going to make today. So let's get started. All right, the first thing you need for a salve is infused oils. Now, you can make these on the stovetop if you don't already have them made, but I already have some made, and I'm hoping this will be enough. So I like to make my oils with a solar infusion method. That's fancy talk to say I put my herbs in my mason jars, I cover them with oil, and I leave them in a sunny windowsill for 4 to 6 weeks to infuse. Then I strain them out and I keep the oil. So I have 3 kinds here. I have a bee balm that I infused in olive oil. I have calendula, which I have infused in almond oil, and rose petals infused into fractionated coconut oil. So 3 different infusions, 3 different herbs that I grew in my garden. And to make a salve, you're going to combine your infused oil with beeswax. So here you see I have some little beeswax pellets. And you can certainly use your own beeswax if you raise bees, or you can get some locally. We don't raise bees because my husband is very allergic to bees. So I ordered some beeswax pellets online. I can send you that link if you need it. Just send me a message. So those are your 2 main ingredients. You need your herbal infused oils and your beeswax. You can make a salve with just those 2 things. Now, if you're wanting to make this and you did not infuse your oils ahead of time, here's what you need to do. Go ahead and grab your dried herbs of whatever kind you want to use for this project. This is where your medicinal power comes in your salve though. So I love rose, bee balm, and calendula. Those are my 3 favorites for skin. Use one, use all 3, whatever you want to do. Put it in some oil on the stovetop, and just in like a double boiler, not over direct heat, but on a double boiler, put your oil and herbs and let it sit in a pot of simmering water. You can let your oil and herbs simmer in that double boiler setup for about 30 minutes to an hour, depending how strong you want it to be. You don't want your oil to come to a boil ever. You want to stir it frequently and just keep your water at a constant simmer and infuse your oil. That's a quick method to make this without letting it sit in a window for 4 to 6 weeks. I've already got mine made, so we're going to go with this. So the formula for a salve is 1 cup of oil to 1 ounce of beeswax. So you are going to need a little kitchen scale. This is mine. So we're going to start out, I think I've probably got 1.5 cups of oil. I might have 2.5. We're going to measure it, and then we'll figure out how much beeswax we need to go with it. So let's measure our oils. So this is the bee balm. It's about 1/2 cup. We've got our calendula. Okay, so there's 1 cup. It's about 1/2. All right, we had just a little over 2 cups of oil. So we're gonna look for 2 ounces of beeswax on our kitchen scale. Okay, so I have my water heating up, and my little cup here has my infused oils in it. So let's grab the beeswax and we're going to pour it in the oil. Okay. So it's going to take just a little bit for these little pellets to melt, but you want to just keep stirring it as it goes and keep a close eye on it. Getting the rest of these that were stuck in the bowl. Alright, and just take a little wooden spoon for this and give it a stir every few minutes. Careful not to slosh your water out like I just did. But we're just going to let that beeswax melt in and combine with our oil. This next step is something I've never done before, so we'll find out if it works. But I'm going to add a little bit of shea butter, and I'm just dropping it right in the pot. I'm also going to add a few drops of vitamin E oil just to kind of up the power of this salve. I want it to be really good for any kind of skin healing, and vitamin E is so important for skin. So as that melts, let's grab our vitamin E oil drops. Okay, now we're just going to add a few drops of vitamin E oil. I'm going for about 10 drops. That ought to do it. And we're just going to keep on stirring. You can tell our little beeswax pellets are sort of starting to soften up and melt. And that's the big old hunk of shea butter. So we've still got a ways to go. We're going to just keep stirring. And then we have one more thing to add and we're done. This next ingredient is totally optional, but I'm going to add about 10 drops of essential oil. I'm using Anxiety Ease. It's a blend by Eden's Garden, my favorite essential oil company. Not affiliated with them. This is just what I like. It has orange, lang lang, and lemongrass. That's the blend. And I love the smell of this, but it is strong. So I only add about 10 drops. That's going to make multiple tins of salve. Okay, it doesn't take a lot, but just a light scent of citrus is what I'm going for. And I just love the smell of this blend, so I thought I'd add it to my salve. Let's go put it in the pot. Okay, it has been about 4 minutes and we are melted and ready to pour. So when I tell you that this goes fast and you need to keep your eye on it, I do mean fast. This is not a project you want to do when you have multiple things going on in the kitchen while you're cooking dinner or canning or doing something with the kids. Do this when you have about, I don't know, 10 or 20 quiet minutes to yourself is all it takes to make this. But you do need to pay attention because it goes fast. So I am stirring and we look melted. Let's pour it in our tins back there behind me. Y'all, this is totally being a little extra, but I have a jar here of lavender flowers that I dried and saved. I think I'm going to sprinkle a few in each of my little tins of salve and let it dry into it. I totally could have added this into my pot, but I didn't. So I'm going to add it in this, and my hope is it's going to dry on top and kind of be pretty. I don't know. This could be a terrible idea. We'll see. But this is the fun of herbalism, y'all. It's playing with plants and learning their uses and their benefits. And there's no rules. Just learn. Just play. This is play for grown-ups. That's what herbalism is. If you have no idea what you're doing, my best advice to you would be, number one, to look at Herbal Academy. They helped me a ton. I took a class with them. So I started out by taking the introductory course from Herbal Academy, and I learned how to make tinctures and infusions, teas, all of the basic things. And then you sort of go a step further and you'll learn about hydrosols, and there's just so much you can do with it. But I do recommend Herbal Academy. So I have them linked in my profile if you want to check out those courses. I'm an affiliate for them just because I love them and I personally use them. The other thing I'll tell you about herbalism is learning from people who are already doing it is the best way to go. If you don't have somebody locally to you, I want you to stay tuned, because on January 1st, we're going to do a new health bundle, which is going to be like a book sale where you get over 100 books for $50, and a lot of those are going to be herbalism related. So heads up, go ahead and start planning for January for that deal. So thanks for hanging out with me today to make a salve. I'm going to let these set up, and then I'll add our lids and our labels, and they'll be done. And this is our first handmade Christmas gift of the year. I'm planning to do several other handmade gifts that I'll share with y'all as we get closer to Christmas, but this is one project we got crossed off the list. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me and making a salve. You'll have to let me know if you try this one. Y'all want to see what the salve looks like after it's done? First of all, check out my labels. I feel so professional. Okay, so this is one I had made earlier. It doesn't have the lavender sprinkled on top. Those are still cooling, but I wanted to show you. It sets up solid like this, and you can see I've been digging in it. You just grab you a little bit with your finger, put it on like that, like a lotion. You can also put a little bit on your lips. It makes a really good, like a lip balm if your lips are dry in the winter. This would be really good for eczema. Bee balm and calendula are both excellent for eczema. Dry skin, chapped skin, working hands. If you got a working man with dry hands, you need to make him some of this. Josh loves this stuff. So you can also use it in your beard. Obviously, I don't have a beard, but if your husband has a beard, he can use it on his beard like a beard oil, and he's gonna smell so good, y'all. It smells so good. So give it a